Alright, what's going on everyone? Sly, and welcome back to some more Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Again, it's another one of these commentary over pre-recorded gameplay type videos. Sorry for the amount of these, but I've been grinding bioluminescent, and this is just the easiest type of content to produce at the moment. Anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to get prepared to go into those higher tier zones and stuff like that severely faster, and then also some more beginner friendly tips like how to get your first 3-plate vest and your first medium to large rucksack the fastest and quickest. And then also at the end we'll have a way to level up weapons the fastest if you are still leveling up weapons from Modern Warfare 3, or if you're leveling up weapons from Modern Warfare 2 because you didn't play Modern Warfare 2. Anyway, before we get into the rest of today's video, if you guys do enjoy this video at the end, make sure to leave a like and comment any other types of things you'd like me to cover, like in Season 1, do you want me to make another one of these videos, or anything like that. And also make sure you subscribe, it's free, and we upload here every single day. Usually I do some face cam on gameplay, like live commentary, cut commentary videos, but we do also incorporate these types of videos quite a bit as well. Anyways, let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first tip I'm going to be giving you guys, this is for beginning players. Do not spawn in with 2 contraband weapons or one of your insured weapons and a contraband weapon. Spawn in with only 1 weapon, that way your other slot can be fists, and you don't want to fill that slot the entire time, especially if you're going into tier 3. When you're in the tier 3 zone, it's almost a necessity to have those fists as your other weapon, unless you have 2 really strong weapons, just so that way you can actually end up outrunning the zombies. The only thing you won't be able to outrun is the Mega Abomination's charge if you're extremely close to it, and the Hellhounds in the tier 3 zone. However, you will be able to outrun all of the zombies and outmaneuver them very easily, same thing with Manglers, and also the Mimics, and Disciples even. So all around, this is just a very good tip, and if you're watching a stream or a video from anyone, unless they're doing camo grinding, they will usually only have 1 weapon inside of their inventory when they load in, and when they exfil from the match, unless they get a wonder weapon like the Wunderwaffe or the ray gun. So like I said, you really don't want to be loading into any of the matches with 2 weapons already on your person. You really just want to load in with a single weapon. Next tip over here surrounding loadouts, as we are going to be going from more beginner friendly all the way up to the more advanced tips in this video. When you're in your loadouts, if you have the decoy grenade unlocked, which I urge you to have this thing unlocked before you plan on going into tier 3 zones or even some of the contracts in tier 2 zones, you want to use decoy grenades. Decoy grenades, you can carry 3 of them at a time, and they are the overpowered version of a monkey bomb. Yes, they don't kill any zombies, but they throw way quicker than a monkey bomb does, as you don't have to wind it up, and they also set off and attract the zombies faster than a monkey bomb, and from longer range, surprisingly, than a monkey bomb does as well. Every other zombies game, I would tell you, get monkey bombs. Probably the best tactical you can possibly have. However, inside of this, Modern Warfare 3 zombies, DMZ zombies, it's definitely going to be the decoy grenade. Then for your lethal, you're going to want to run the throwing knife, as it can one-shot tier 3 Hellhounds no matter what. As long as you're not hitting them in the ass, of course. But if you're hitting them anywhere past the ass, you can one-shot them with it, which makes it very easy if you're grinding out those contracts with no weapon. Another tip I will give you, and this will vary from if you're playing solo as if you're playing with friends. If you're playing solo, I would recommend either Frenzy Guard or Ether Shroud. However, if you're playing with friends, I would heavily recommend you run Healing Aura, as if anyone goes down, like if you have that one friend that just goes down all the time, isn't the greatest at zombies, or if you're that friend that almost goes down all the time, then you can just pop Healing Aura. It will revive any teammates that are near you, and it will also make sure that every player that is up currently will be at max health as soon as you pop it. Next tip, and this is going to be definitely for those solo players, try and spawn in with stuff like your Ethereum crystals and at least a uncommon ether tool. This is just going to make it way easier for you to do tier 2 contracts as a solo player, as that's what I mainly do, and that's what most of my videos are around. They're based around solo play and stuff like that, especially if you're going for those Act 2 challenges or those Act 3 challenges to unlock those story missions and unlock the Bone Collector skin. You're definitely going to want to be spawning in with raw Ethereum crystals and at least an uncommon ether tool. However, ideally, you would be spawning in with at least a rare ether tool. Also, if you've completed Act 3, then you can spawn in with a Wunderwaffe DG2 every 48 hours. And you should also have a ray gun inside of your acquisitions, so you can use that for a single game. Another thing is spawning in with perks. If you have the perk schematics, or if you just have perk cans saved up from acquisitions, from doing missions, or even just from getting them out of your reward portals, you will definitely want to run perks at the start of every game, as they are scattered around all the perk machines, except for in the tier 3 zone where they have the Cold War-esque perk machines where you can buy every perk at them. You're definitely going to want to end up actually taking these in with you, just because all of the perk machines are very scattered around the entire map. Another bonus solo tip will be coming up later in the video to make it so you can get infinite free revives as a solo player without having a self-revive kit. Next tip I'm going to give you: use those ether portals, or rifts as most people call it, at the start of the game and even further into the game, as soon as you come through one of those ether rifts, pop your parachute and you want to look around for these Ethereum canisters. Every time you hit one of these, it's 500 points. And some ether portals or rifts can actually end up giving you all the way up to all the way up to 4,000. As a matter of fact, I think in the tier 3 zone, I got one that was 5,000. And if you have double points, it's obviously going to double each canister, making it 1,000 per canister instead of 500. Making it so that way in a tier 1 ether rift, you can get all the way up to 4,000 points just from being in the tier 1 zone and not even doing a contract. Another tip is going to be, if you're close to the end of a contract and you end up seeing a double points and you're not sure if the double points will run out before you end up completing the contract, you're going to want to have a friend, or if you're playing solo, just keep an eye on it and wait till it starts blinking a lot. Then go and grab it, finish your contract, and you will get double points. In the tier 1 zone, this is going to be from 2,000 to 4,000. In the tier 2 zone, it's going to be from 3,000 to 6,000. And in the tier 3 zone, it's going to be from 5,000 to 10,000. A whole tier 2 pack and 5,000 points off of a tier 3 pack. Now, these next tips are all going to be pertaining to in-game, as the tips I was going through before all were pertaining to before you even load into the game. Stuff you can do before you load into the game at all. So once you are inside of your game, you're going to want to, like I said, try and find an ether portal, or if there's not one near you, you're going to want to go to a contract like Eliminate the Bounty if you had an Ethereum crystal to upgrade your weapon to level 1 to 2 Pack-a-Punch, or an epic ether tool to make your weapon epic rarity or even legendary rarity. Or you can also go for the easiest contract in the game to do the quickest, which is going to be either the Spore contracts or the Deliver Cargo contracts. The contracts I would recommend you staying far away from are any ones where you actually have to engage with AI that actually has weapons. These contracts are going to be the Ether Extractor contracts and the Protect the Ground Station contracts. The Escort contracts, Eliminate the Bounty contract, or the HVT contracts. The Deliver Cargo contracts, you'll have to deal with maybe 3 to 4 mercs, but that's really not that bad, and you can just headshot them all. And any other contract like the Outlast or Spore contracts are all just against zombies, so those are probably the easiest ones to do, especially if you don't have the highest tier weapon. Now, when you are inside of this tier 2 zone, if you're a solo player, or even if you're playing with people and you just have that one guy that keeps going down, or if you just keep going down and you're all kind of split up around an area or too far away to use healing or to revive, what you can do is use a explosive weapon, or just use a Semtex or frag grenade. Any explosive, even a monkey bomb will do, or even the K4, the black hole grenades, basically cylinder Gershes. Anyway, after using these explosive weapons or just explosive equipments, you'll actually be able to go ahead and see pieces of flesh on the ground. Now, you only need one. It's a misconception that you need possibly 1 to 3. You actually only need one. I've never had it not work with just one piece of flesh. Again, I usually play solo, so maybe it pertains to how many players you have. If you have 2, maybe you need 2 pieces of flesh. But even then, when I have played with friends, it's still just been 1. You want to try and find a Hellhound hut around the map. You'll be able to find this Hellhound hut or doghouse by the hellhound head inside of a doghouse symbol popping up on your map, only when you are close to it, or seeing smoke coming from a small building. That will be the hellhound doghouse you are looking for. Now once you go up to it, you're going to want to deposit your flesh into it, and then it will spawn in a hellhound, and this hellhound can kill zombies, it can collect stuff for you, and it also can revive you if needed, which is where the infinite revives, if you're playing solo, come in. You don't even need a self-res kit. You go down, the dog can revive you as long as you keep it alive and well. This next tip is going to be the easiest way to get a 3-plate armor carrier and a large rucksack, the two best rucksack and armor plate carriers in the entire game. Easiest way to do this is going to be for the 3-plate armor, you're going to want to go and do a mercenary camp, and then you're going to want to go ahead and do a merc stronghold. There will be a safe inside this merc stronghold that you're going to want to break open, and then once you break that merc stronghold open, or merc stronghold safe open, there will be the key card for the fortress, where you will find a large rucksack more likely, but it is a little bit of a harder area to do. You can do it, especially with multiple people. I've done it several times solo. But if you don't want to go through the hassle to do that, I'll tell you a better way to get the large rucksack much faster and much easier. However, there will be a single, not one for everybody in your team, a single 3-plate armor vest inside of this safe. It's guaranteed, and then you can go ahead, put that on, and now you have the best armor plate vest currently in the game with Season 1. And then for the large rucksack, you're going to want to go ahead and actually end up getting 10,000 points. Easiest way to do this would be farming tier 2 contracts, or if you're geared enough, or if you just know your way around the tier 3 area well enough, and you're confident in your surviving capabilities in the tier 3 zone, doing 2 tier 3 contracts. And then once you've done that, you're going to want to go ahead and go to the tier 3 shopping little kiosk yourself. You're going to want to head over to one of those tier 3 zone buy stations. I'm pretty sure there's only one location it can be in, but if there is more, make sure to leave it down in the comments for anyone who doesn't know all of them. I've only ever seen it in the exact same area, which is in sort of the town square type area. It's a big open area. The mega bomb might spawn here, so you might want to be careful of that, or maybe get the turret there with a cryo freeze or just normal turret chip in there, as that's definitely going to help you a lot in those tier 3 zones with killing HVTs and mega bombs. There's another free tip for you. But if you are trying to just get the large rucksack, you want to take your $10,000, throw a decoy or a monkey bomb, or get someone to protect you while you use the buy station, and you're going to want to just buy the large rucksack there. You can also buy the 3-plate armor carrier there at the buy station as well if you don't want to get it for free. And you can also buy a purple durable gas mask, which I would recommend if you are planning on doing any of those ether nests or ether strongholds. Now this next section for tips and the final section for tips is going to be quite a bit mixed. It's mainly going to be about the schematics and the easiest way to farm those schematics and where you can get every single schematic inside of the game. But it will also feature another bonus tip, and this one's very helpful, especially for doing the Act 3 mission where you have to kill the Stormcaller. It's very, very helpful for it, as you can one-hit the Stormcaller, which, if you don't know, is the boss that's not an HVT with the most amount of health in the entire game. Next, I'm going to go through the way that you will end up actually getting every single schematic in the game. Going into the uncommon ones, or the most common ones that everyone usually has, we are going to start off with the uncommon ether tool. This is an Act 1 mission. The Deadshot Daiquiri is from a tier 1 contract, and it is just luck. The quick revive schematic is going to be from the Act 1 missions. One of them, I forget which one it exactly is, but it'll tell you right there. Then for Speed Cola, it's a tier 1 contract, and it's just luck. It'll be in the reward portal. Stamina Up, again, tier 1 contract. It will be in the reward portal. Brain Rot, tier 1 contract, be in the reward portal. And Napalm Burst, tier 1 contract, will be in the reward portal. Now for the next, so I don't keep saying tier 1 contract will be in the reward portal, I'm just going to do all of the Act mission ones, and then I'm going to cut over to the ones you get from contracts. So from an Act 2 mission, you will get the Rare Ether tool. From an Act 2 mission, you will also get a Cryo Freeze, and from an Act 3 mission, you will get the Death Perception schematic along with the Wunderwaffe DG2 Act 3 schematic. Now for the Tier 2 contract areas, these are the schematics you will get from the reward portals. Let me clarify that. The reward portals are what you get after you complete a contract of any type. So for the Tier 2 contracts, this is going to be the Raw Ethereum Crystal, Juggernog recipe, PhD Flopper recipe, Deadwire, and Shatterblast. For the Tier 3 contracts, these are the hardest ones to get, and the most rarest one is in the Tier 3 area. But from the Tier 3 contracts in the reward portal, you can get the Epic Ether Tool, Refined Ethereum Crystal, Elemental Pop, Tombstone, and the rarest one in the game, the Raygun schematic. Now, before we do carry on, I would like to say I did not make this schematics loot table that you saw on the screen, and feel free to go ahead and look for it. The Reddit post you're going to be looking for is on r/COD Zombies by Ziqd, ZIQD, for the Act 3 mission where you have to kill the Stormcaller. It's one of the last missions that most people do because it is the hardest one in my opinion, and the only hard mission in any of the acts that's actually hard and not just tedious. This is killing the Stormcaller. So you will have to kill the Stormcaller, which is going to be inside of the Ether Storm, which is the purple biohazard symbol on your map if you didn't already know that. And the only way you can actually end up one-shotting this boss, as it has the most amount of health in the entire game, is with the rare Ether bike called the Blood Burner. You have to get the Ether ability, the Ether Blast ability, which is the field upgrade specific to the Ether bike, the Blood Burner. And by the way you end up filling up this bar is by killing zombies, and you don't have to worry about breaking the Blood Burner, as it's very hard to do because this thing can drive on water. And on top of that, it auto-repairs itself the entire time you are driving it. So you're going to want to run around and run over around, I think it's like 30 zombies or something. I think when I was doing testing and when I got it, it was around 25 to 30 zombies was the sweet spot to fill up the Ether Blast. You're then going to want to drive into the Ether Storm and go right next to the Stormcaller and just use the Ether Blast. Now, the Blood Burner is a very rare thing to find. It's the only rare vehicle we've ever had in zombies so far. Of course, they'll probably add more throughout the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies life cycle, but this is the first actual rare vehicle we've seen inside of zombies. It is pretty rare to find, but if you drive around the main road and inside of the major city and little like forest towns inside of the Tier 2 zone, you are very likely to find it. However, I actually ended up finding it by the railroad tracks in the Tier 1 zone. So you can actually find the Blood Burner in the Tier 1 zone, the Tier 2 zone, and the Tier 3 zone. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Leave down in the comments any more tips and tricks I may have missed out on, so that way we can all thrive inside of the Modern Warfare Zombies mode. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and turn on post notifications as we upload every single day here. Sometimes it's a little late, the uploads, but I'm getting better at that. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.